Please watch the video until the end to hear every secret, every small pause, and the final confession. Chapter 1. The Box on the Shelf. She who tells this is a woman who remembers the way solitude can feel like a warm room, inhabited, safe, and smelling faintly of paper. Maya Park kept a shoebox on the highest shelf of her closet, a modest wooden thing painted once in a careless blue. Inside, she folded 5 letters and wrote names she had never sent them to. They were not punctured pleas or declarations meant for the world. They were little maps of her heart, each one a diagram of how she had loved at that particular moment. They were private because they were honest. One described a smile that had changed a winter afternoon. Another catalogued the ridiculousness of learning someone's favorite ice cream. She dated each letter in a neat hand she developed in long, bored study halls. She wrote because words were easier to arrange than feelings, because ink could be piled and labeled and put away. Maya's life, when not catalogued in letters, moved like any suburban sophomore's. Family dinners with her mother's laugh, small triumphs at school, an after-school job at a bakery where flour dusted the cuffs of her jeans. She was neither reckless nor particularly content with passivity. She kept her feelings like ornaments, beautiful but rarely hung where people could see them. Chapter 2. The Morning They Left. One ordinary Saturday, her younger brother found the box. He read one letter aloud with the casual cruelty of children who believe secrets are toys, then, trying to be helpful or mischievous, Maya could never decide which. He tucked the letters into envelopes and, because he loved the postal stamps the way kids love sparkly things, he mailed them. Maya discovered the breach the way people often discover that they are naked, too late, and with an adrenaline that shame colors into something fierce. Letters came back folded and spent, addressed to her in return with notes, questions, and, in one case, an invitation. In their responses there was bewilderment and an odd tenderness. These were not angry men, but people surprised to learn they had been admired so quietly. The 5th envelope contained an address in someone else's careful handwriting and a short note. If you want them back, meet me by the library steps after school. The note was signed, in looping letters the way song lyrics sometimes are, Caleb Reed. Chapter 3. A bargain between two people who were not brave. Caleb arrived late, hair mussed as if he'd run, and with his hands in his jacket pockets like he was trying not to touch anything fragile. He returned the letters with an economy of gestures, as though each crease was a small debt discharged. Maya expected triumph or mockery, and found only something quieter, a man who had been taught that feelings are a private economy. They spoke with a briskness that hid both caution and curiosity. Caleb confessed after she demanded, gently, in the voice you use for things you do not want to break, that the letters had unsettled him. I thought I knew how to feel about things, he said. Then I read your words and realized I'd been living on the surface. Impastien san piti made de mrekles. He offered a proposition. He would help her recover from the sudden broadcast of her heart if she would help him appear less reclusive. Not the old fake dating plot her friends' gossip threads suggested, but a different kind of agreement. They would be seen together in small, intentional ways, a coffee here, a study session there, enacting a life that was more visible and therefore easier to change. Acting, he said, is practice for living. Chapter 4. The Slow Work of Being Known. They began with rules as if rules could corral the uncertainty of attraction. No nights alone together, no introducing each other as more than coincidences, no kisses that would be anything but weather. The first week, Maya watched how Caleb listened. He did not simply wait for his turn to speak. He collected her sentences like rare coins, turning them over, reading them. Their companionship was clumsy and then delicate. They learned to share silences, those suspended moments that reveal more than explanations. When Maya told him about the blue box, he understood without fixating on the dramatic. When Caleb revealed his fear of being typecast by other people's assumptions, Maya offered, with a frankness sharpened by her own exposure, a ridiculous remedy. Let's invent a ridiculous shared story and see if people keep it. And people did keep it, at least at first. They called them a pair at the cafe, a study duo on test days. The seeing did exactly what either had promised. It pushed both off the familiar edges into a place that required them to move.
Chapter 5. The Quiet Tests.
Practice became habit. They practiced holding hands as one might practice chords on a guitar, fingers finding the minor keys first, then fitting into major ones. Arguments arrived. Small, honest collisions about boundaries and assumptions, and they survived them, rid of the romanticism that loves an unbroken, novel-perfect bond. Maya found that courage is not a single grand act but a series of tiny toggles. Calling someone when you are afraid to lose them, saying what you need at the exact moment it could be heard. Caleb, for his part, began to show cracks in the armor he had used to keep people at a distance. His jokes softened. His silences loosened into confessions that were not themselves performances. There were moments when the pretend slipped and they both noticed. A touch lasted longer than planned. A look said more than any script. Those were the moments that terrified them most, because they meant the bargain had ceased to be won. Chapter 6. Returning the box, at last. On the day Maya finally moved the blue box from the shelf, she did not tear open the old letters to relive them. Instead, she wrote a new one, without envelopes this time, and left it where anyone could find it, a page tucked into the bakery's tip jar on a windy Tuesday. It said simply that she had learned to speak without hoping the world would echo her back. Caleb read it at noon, flour on his cheek from a shared croissant they had broken into two like a small ritual. He reached for her hand across the counter and did not let go. Neither of them used the word forever. They did not need to. They had been revealed in their ordinary parts, and found there was enough. The narrator, who is a woman carrying the small archive of this evening, remembers the hush that fell when they laughed at a private joke and then shared it with the world.
Secrets do not always break you.
Sometimes, when released, they make you larger. If you enjoyed this tale, please subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, give the video a like, comment your favorite moment, and share it with someone who loves stories.